Hi guys, welcome back to our live session. In today's session, we'll be discussing about the fabrication part option in Revit, which helps you to create more detailed parts or components in Revit. The normal components we use, such as ducts, pipes, and cable trays, whatever the MEP elements you have in Revit, can be converted into fabrication elements so that it can be used for fabrication drawings as well as for more detailed submissions of drawings. So without any further ado, let's start with the session. As you guys can see here, we have a new project opened and I want to start by placing some fabrication parts here. So the initial step here is to load the fabrication components into your project. And to do that, you can go for the systems tab here and you can see there's uh, a single panel here for the fabrication. So you can go inside the fabrication part here. Okay, you can click on the fabrication part option. There's a shortcut for that, which is PB. Okay, you can click on that option, and inside of it you can see that right now we don't have any parts or services loaded, and they have given you the information here or the procedure to load a fabrication part. So in order to do that, we have to go for the settings to select a fabrication configuration, and then we have to load a fabrication service into the model. So let's select the settings here on the bottom part. Click on the settings, and the first step is to select a fabrication configuration. Inside the fabrication configuration, you can see there are by default two here. There is imperial content as well as metric content here. I'm going for the metric content, so you can go for the metric here, and once you do that, now I have to reload it since I did it before, so you have to reload it again. And you can see there are some unloaded surveys in this particular content. Okay, and the fabrication part is not just for the ducting. As I said before, it's for all the MEP components. Okay, as you can see here, we have duct work parts here. We have for the electrical, for the piping. Okay, so based on your requirement, you can load the services into the model. Okay, and right now I'm trying to do two different services here, one again for the duct and the other one for the firefighting pipes. Okay, so I'm going to load two services into the model. The first one is going to be the duct work of 500 Pascal, which is again the pressure of the duct classification, and I'm going to use a threaded grooved fitting for the firefighting pipes. Okay, so once you load the service, you can click OK, and you will see those services loaded here. And based on the service, you can see the parts inside the fabrication part window. And inside each service, you'll find different groups as well. For example, in this particular service, the duct work, you can see there's a group for rectangular, round. These are the round duct and fittings of it. There is grill boxes, plenum boxes. There are accessories such as VCDs, fire dampers, access panels, as such. We have hangers, which is very important. We don't have the option to go for hangers directly in Revit. So guys, if you want to place hangers, you can go for the fabrication part again. Otherwise, we have to use some other plugins or add-ins which you can download from the Autodesk App Store. Okay, so here we have some default hangers again. You can use this for placing it. I'll be showing you that. And again, we have oval ducts and its fittings. Okay, so placing or creating the fabrication part is kind of different compared to the normal duct creation. You can select the component which you want here. You can give the elevation. So I'm going to give the elevation here, and we can start placing it here. So for example, I can place one by one here. As you can see, it's like placing a block kind of. So you can place one by one here, and at any time if you want to reduce the size, you can place a transition fitting, and you have to do it manually. Okay, and you can select it and you can edit the values of it. For example, now you can see the primary width and depth is 600 by 400. The secondary width and depth is decreasing 200 by 200. So if you want to modify it, you can give another value here and it will be modified here. You can also go for edit part. Once you select the component, you can see the edit part option on the top, which enables you similar options, which allows you to edit the dimensions of the part. Okay, the parts here are created using another software of Autodesk called Fabrication MEP, and in case if you want to create a new component, you have to depend on that software. So we only have limited fittings and all by default, And you can, if you guys don't have it here, you can actually download from the Autodesk content. Okay, you will be getting this default fittings and all to try it out. Now going back again, I'm going to place a few fittings. Now by I want to change the direction, so I'm going for an elbow. You can give the angle here, let's go with 90. And in case if you want to rotate, you can use a space bar to rotate it, and you can make slight changes as well. Okay, now again going back here, I'm going to place some straight duct, again an elbow of 90 degree. I'm going to delete this one, right? Again a straight duct. Let's say I want to go for a Y fitting, so I'll go for the Y fitting, and again straight. You guys can also place components such as shoe piece, okay, for the branches. So again, if you want to switch the sides, you can use a space bar. Okay, so I want a shoe piece here as well as over here, 1 and 2. Again, to change or to edit the part, you can go for the edit part option, or you can change it over here. Okay, at the end I want to put a cap, so I'm going to place an end cap here on the both sides. Okay, and again I'm going to just finish it off by placing a few ducts. You can see I don't have air terminals by default in this category, so I don't have the option to place it. So you can go with the normal air terminal and connect it. Okay, so this is how it looks now. I want to place some other accessories such as VCDs and all, so we'll go for the accessories group, where you can see there are volume control dampers. So I'm going to place it on every branches here. And again I want to place a fire damper. So the fire damper here can't be placed in between the duct, so you have to make a slight change here. I'm going to create some space in between the two ducts, then I'll be able to place a fire damper in between. Okay, and then easily you can right click here, go for root and fill, and connect the duct here, and you can finish it off. Okay, and the last part here, I want to place some hangers. So by going for the hangers group, you can select the particular hanger you want to place, and easily you can just place the hangers here. Let me go for VG and turn it on. It's off by default. Okay, as you can see now, I'm placing the hangers here, and automatically the size will be detected by these hangers. We don't have to specify the size here. You can just place it near the duct, the size will be automatically detected. Let me finish it off by placing a few hangers in each branch, and that's it. Okay, now what big difference that you find if you go for the 3D view, and if you compare both of the normal duct and the fabrication part duct. This is the normal duct which we create in Revit, right? So you can see there's a huge difference when you visualize it, and you can see the hangers and all, it comes very perfectly, and it will be connected to the slab automatically. So it actually reduces the job we have to do while placing the hangers and all. So I told you guys, if you're not planning to use the fabrication part for the fabrication drawings, if you're going to go with the default ducts and all, you can actually purchase add-ins for placing the hangers. Okay, it's available in the Autodesk App Store, which you can access from here, or you can just browse it. Okay, this is how the fabrication part works. There is also another way of creating the fabrication part similar to the normal ducts, which only happens when you go for creation of ducts. Okay, for example, if I'm in the group of rectangular, round, or oval, I can select that. Then we'll be getting an option called the multi-point routing near to the fabrication part option. You can select that, and we can just create that easily like this. But the thing is, the fittings won't be as per the requirement, so it can be different, but you can change the value here. For example, I can change this to 350 by 350, and the reducers and all will be coming automatically. Later on, if you want to modify a fitting, you can select that, you can change it from the default one to, let's say, the reduce band, and we can give the values here, and then we can connect it here to this one. Compared to the normal duct, it does take a bit of time. Okay, compared to the duct we have here, it takes a bit more time, but the detailing for the fabrication, you can see it is very much required for you. Okay, so this is one of the options with which you can create fabrication parts in Revit by manually placing it. You can also use multi-point routing if you are planning to place or to create the duct. Okay. While going for any other group, you can see that option will be turned off, because for accessories and all, we have to place it manually. For example, I want to place a access panel or access door, for example. I have to go here and place it manually itself. There is no other option of doing it. Okay. As you guys can see here, I placed an access panel. So similarly, you can place any other component by manually using it. But as I told you, for the ducts and all, you can either place it one by one or by using the multi-point routing. There is also an option to convert the normal families into fabrication parts. For example, let's go with the one I created here over here. I've already created a duct routing, as you guys can see here, and I want to convert this into a fabrication part. Okay, and so for the first step, we need to load the services that is required again. But after loading it, we don't need to place one by one again. You can just select the ducts by using the tab. You can press on the tab until you get the complete selection of the routing that you've done. And once the routing is selected, you can filter the items which you don't want to convert here. For example, the flex deck won't be available in the fabrication part, and again the air terminals won't be available. And I'm going to actually delete the accessories before converting it, because the accessories won't be converted automatically. So I'm going to delete the accessories here, then I'm going to select only the ducts and fittings here. So let's select the ducts and the duct fittings. I'm going to turn off the air terminal and flex duct selection. And once that is selected, you can see on the top here, inside the contextual tab of modify, you'll be getting the option to convert or design to fabrication here. So using this option, you can convert a normal duct into fabrication part. Let's see how it works. So when I click here, they're going to select a service which is similar to the one we have selected, and you can just select the service and just click on OK. And based on the routing here, they'll be converting that into a fabrication part. As you can see, some elements won't be as per the requirement. You can see over here, it is not, I'm getting a fitting here, but it's not what I want actually. So what we can do is we can just change the routing again. We can just manually route it. I'm going back to the floor plan. I'm going to delete this one, and instead of that, I'm going to place a normal Y. And by checking the length, or sorry, by checking the dimensions here, I'm going to convert the size as well. So you can click here, go to edit part, and by selecting this dimensions, you can see which part you are actually editing over here. So I want to edit this one, which is going to be 250. This is going to be 250 as well, 250 and 250 here. Now the routing has been done. Now you can right click, route and fill here, and a similar connection can be done over here as well. Now if you go for the 3D, you can see that you've got the fabrication part, and if you want to divide that into proper parts here, or into divisions of ducts, again select the fabrication here. You will be getting an option called optimize length. By selecting that, it will be divided into equal parts or fabrication parts here. As you guys can see, now it's converted to the fabrication part, and you'll be able to use tools such as hangers, accessories, or any other groups from the fabrication part option. As you guys can see, you can also place the hangers and all in 3D as well. Okay. So this is required when the client or when the project is to be submitted in a high detail. Let's say for example LOD 500 and all, you might have to use the fabrication part to submit the drawings. So it is very much required, and again for the complete use of it, you need to also understand a software called CAD MEP or Fabrication MEP, which is again a product of Autodesk. Okay, I want to show you guys another conversion as well for the firefighting pipes. I have similarly created a firefighting pipe over here, a routing. So I'm going for that routing here, and we have already added a service, right? We have added this one, for example threaded groove, in which you can see that here we have two fittings inside of it. This is threaded one and this is grooved one. For each of these fittings we have both types of fittings, the threaded and grooved. And you can see when I place my cursor over here, I'm getting this size range where it says that this fitting is less for uh, pipe less than or equal to 50, and this is for pipe size which is greater than 50. So again it helps me to select the pipe easily and I can go on creating it. So by selecting this particular routing, I'm going to select this whole routing here. I don't want the mechanical equipment to be converted because we don't have it as a fabrication part. So I'm going to filter it, and again sprinkler is not available. I don't have the pipe accessories. Where have I placed that? Okay. Mechanical equipment is not required. Pipe accessories are the walls. Okay, so I placed a few walls here. Let's keep it there. So I want to convert the pipes and pipe fittings here. And again, similar to the duct creation, we can see there is an option called design to fabrication. Click on this option, select the service you want, click OK, and this will be converted into a fabrication part. As you guys can see, it has been converted here. Over here on the larger sizes, you can see the fitting you're getting is a grooved fitting, but on the smaller ones you can see here, for example for less than 50, right, you will be getting threaded fittings. To make it more clear for you guys, let me go for the 3D view, and you guys can see over here these are actually threaded fittings like this ones here, and here you are getting the grooved fittings for the larger size greater than 50 mm. Okay, and again if you guys want to place some hangers and all, you can click here, go for the hangers, and you will be getting hangers here. Just like for the ducts, you can easily go here and place the hangers here one by one. I've turned off it, so you can turn it on by going to VG and turning on the hangers. Okay. Also have the ducts here, so it will be visible. 1 minute. So I'm going to place this one here. Okay. And again, similar to the duct supports, we don't have to provide the size or the elevation. By placing here, it will automatically detect the size, and based on the size you'll be getting the supports here, as you can see on the 3D. Okay, you'll be getting the fittings over here. So using the fabrication part, we can create more detailed components in Revit. If you guys find it very normal, and if you guys want to create fabrication drawings from Revit, we might have to use, not we might actually, we have to use the fabrication part option in Revit. And in order to create more components of it, we may have to use a CAD MEP or the fabrication MEP software from the Autodesk. You can actually download that from the Autodesk store, and again you'll be getting the student version for it for 1 year, which I think is a very good option for those who want to learn it. Okay, so hope you guys are cleared about the fabrication part option. Hope it was a great session for you, an informative session for you guys. If you guys have any doubts or any queries regarding the MEP part or regarding the session we had today, you can comment below on the comment section, and we'll be looking forward to clear your doubts in the upcoming sessions. And we'll be having more sessions this week. Tomorrow we'll be having a session for the SolidWorks, so hopefully you guys will be watching that as well from our corporate trainer. So see you guys in the next session. We'll be trying to bring up new topics in Revit.